Hi everyone, it's Catherine here from Mickey Figure Cat. I've just filmed my Lollipop Box Club kit unboxing, which is why I've got a little sweetie on my desk, so I'm just put that out of the way. But I did also get a delivery the other day. I'm really conscious that this camera is in the wrong place, so hang on. Right, I've changed the camera, sorry. Okay, I did say I've got some new Stampin' Up goodies, so I thought I'd share them with you. So first of all, let's go for the Tidings and Trimmings. So I actually got the whole collection. I got the bundle of the stamps and the dies, and I also got the DSP as well. Saw this in the annual catalogue, wasn't entirely sure whether I needed it or not, but definitely liked it. Just thought, oh Catherine, you've got so many Christmas things, stop buying Christmas things. But I love doing Christmas crafting, just love it. And then I saw somebody, it was Martin Stone from Martin's Mayhem. He did a card for, I think it was the artisan design team, could be wrong, but I saw a card he did, shared on Instagram, because I'm slightly obsessed with him at the moment. I am following him like mad. And I was like, no, that means I've got to get this kit. Absolutely got to get this. So there we go, it's his fault. So Tidings and Trimmings, you get this set of Photopolymer stamps. There's 18 stamps in here, so you can see it's quite a lot. Some that are obviously Christmas and some that are not. So the stars, the leaves and the berries, the bow don't have to be Christmas. Probably the stockings are Christmas, and you can't really say you'd use them at any other time of the year. And most of the sentiments are definitely going to be Christmas. Maybe not the cheers from our home to yours, but definitely the rest of them. And then it's got a handy to from, which you might put on your little what are they called, tags on your Christmas cards. You can see it's already been used. So the to from is actually one stamp together. I think the stars are really useful because of the fact that you've got a solid and you've got an outline. As I say, this star doesn't have to be for Christmas. In fact, I'm going to go and grab the card that I've just made with it. I did combine it with a few other bits, but just bear with. So I did make a birthday card. I did throw in a little bit of extra very old scrappy DSP and the happy biggest wish. Is that what it's called? Yes, it's called Biggest Wish. The happy is from the Biggest Wish, which is the stamp set I've been most obsessed with out of the annual catalogue. And then this is from a really old stamp set called Happy Celebrations. But I just wanted the text to be not cursive, and it's cursive, the birthday that goes with that. But as you can see, this card, not Christmas, but using a Christmas stamp and a die set. So here's a sneak preview of some of the dies. So the dies, you get 15 dies in total. So you get the outline of the large star. You get this really, really beautiful intricate star here. You get an outline of the smaller star that also cuts out the stamped star. Then you get an inside, which is here. You get a single star, which is all the little ones that I've cut from cardstock. Then you get the outline for the stockings. You get the outline for the leaves. And if you notice here, the leaves, you've got the bits that colour them as well if you wanted to stamp the colour onto the leaf, or if you wanted to just leave it as an outline, you can. You get an outline for the bow. You get the sprig here. You also get a sprig and a leaf that doesn't coordinate with a stamp, and you also get some holly leaves, of which you get 1, 2, 3, 4 holly leaves in total across 2 dies. Really handy for doing multiple things. There's a very nice card in the I think it's in the annual catalogue, but bear with me whilst I just double check. To find the right page. This is where it would help if you were organised. Oh, it's not in the annual catalogue. must be in the mini. But yeah, Martin Mayhem again, he pointed this card out. So for those of you who don't have an Annie blog, there are plenty of videos of people sharing what's in the annual catalogue. I'm not the sort of demo that sends them out or anything. There it is. So this is actually using the punch from the Happy Holidays bundle. You see that punch, and it's using all the different leaves. You could use this and cut them out of vellum. So just saying, that was my thought. Might do that at some point, might not. You also get all these little dots, which are perfect for adding as little berries with your holly. Is there anything else there? I think that's all of them, isn't it? So that's the Tidings and Trimmings bundle. So you save 10% if you get the dies and the stamp at the same time. Sensible demos who knew what they're doing would probably tell you how much that cost, but I'd have to re-look it up in the catalogue, and I'm not sure I can be bothered. And then this is the DSP set that goes with it. So you will know if you've been watching my channel or you have been following my blog, which is inkyfingercat.me. I have been refusing to buy Christmas paper for a few years, and then I bought some last year and ended up with quite a bit of it, and I've been on a mission to use up my DSP so that this year I could buy new again, and I'm nearly there. So I decided I could justify buying this 6x6 set. So I'm loving the patterns on these. So those of you who know Stampin' Up know Stampin' Up paper is double-sided. So the green trees is a red stripe on the other side. So you actually get 8 sheets of each paper. I've just turned it so that there's 4 facing one direction and 4 facing the other direction. Now the colour scheme on this, so for those that don't know, Stampin' Up paper also tells you what colours they've used in the DSP, so you can always have coordinated paper and cardstock and ink, etc. So they've used Cherry Cobbler, Evening Evergreen, oh, I love Evening Evergreen, that, and Soft Succulent, which is also in this, are in colours, and I love them. Misty Moonlight is also an in colour, I think, but it's from the previous year. You've got Sahara Sand, love the Sahara Sand, it's like just that bit softer than crumb cake. And Whisper White is the colours in this paper. So that is the Tidings and Trimmings DSP and the stamps and dies. Now that's from the annual catalogue, so that's available all the time. Something that's new, as in has just come in during the new mini catalogue, and I just did a little flick through of some of the pages. So the mini catalogue, as you can see, I've got lots of things that I want to buy, but I haven't bought them all. I've been quite good, and I only bought one thing so far. Did you hear this so far? So that's this Merriest Moments bundle, which was £50.25. Now, it's a really clever set, because this bundle, most bundles you go stamps and dies. This is stamps, dies, and an embossing folder that does some cool stuff. Just saying, really cool. Okay, so you can probably see over here on the pictures. Okay, but it doesn't really tell you what it does. So let me show you. Right, what you have. Let's go with the stamps first. So the stamps themselves are really lovely stamps. Some nice sentiments, thinking of you this festive season, joyful Christmas to you and yours, together is the merriest place to be. I always love using joy on my cards. So my favourite stamp set from last year was the Peace and Joy. So I'm thinking that that'll work really well with this, because I don't get rid of stamp sets just because they've discontinued or been retired. That's the right word to use. Season's greetings, but yeah, absolutely loved the Peace and Joy from last time. I love these holly leaves. I love the poinsettia, but they're quite modern. Don't have to be Christmas related flowers. You could quite easily use them as norm. Got some nice big fat berries. Got centre of the poinsettia. We've got a bit of a background stamp going on, and we've got some really nice foliage stamps as well. So these are 16, again, photopolymer. So eagle-eyed amongst you might spot that there's been some ink added to those flowers because they've slightly changed colour. I actually have used a couple of the stamps in here, but if you use anything that's red themed, so either like a real red or rich raspberry or the bright pinks, or in this case Calypso Coral, then it will stain your photopolymer, but don't worry, it doesn't make a difference to the stamps at all, the quality of stamping or anything. So lovely stamp set all on their own. Then your dies, you get dies that cut out some of the images, so the holly leaves, sprig, like that foliage, flowers. There's then some separate flowers, I think there's 3 separate flowers that just cut out flower shape, they don't do anything else. I'll come back to this in a minute. This is for those little dots for the centre. You have that one which cuts this one out, and this one that cuts this one out. This is for the holly berries. Okay, and then you have a frame, rectangular frame that's got a stitched edge. You have this that cuts out around a frame. It cuts out a whole load of the different foliage shapes. Again, I'll show it in operation in a minute. Well, not in operation, but how I've made something in a minute. And you have this that goes all the way around the outside of that too. So you can create a frame for this piece. Okay. Now, I have made a card with this, but I've not done it brilliantly in terms of all of the layers that you can do. But you can see here some of what it can do. Oh, sorry. Most important part, the embossing folder. So it's a beautiful embossing folder already, quite deeply etched, so you get a good impression. As you can see, I've already used it, so there's some bits of card stuck in there. But it's a beautiful frame, embosses the frame itself and all of the foliage around the outside, and then you get these sort of like dots that go around the outside. Okay. But it's very clever because you can actually, if you remember which way up things go, I think it's that way. Yep, you slot it in, there you go, slots in, put your cardstock on top. So now what it'll do is it'll cut and emboss just that central part. That bit obviously will be a frame that you don't necessarily need to use, so that's an option. Okay. The other option is, once you have cut this part out of your cardstock, you can then lay this into your embossing folder, not the die, the piece of cardstock that you've just cut out, and emboss that. Okay, so I'm going to explain a little bit using this card, but I've missed one step out. So first of all, I have a piece underneath that is just the embossed piece. So you probably can't see very well, but can you see underneath there? It's the embossed piece. So that's just a piece of cardstock that I embossed, plain and simple. Then I cut out, using the embossing folder and the larger die, I cut out and embossed this piece here. Yeah, so you can see the white piece here is embossed too. I then cut out this piece and laid it on top, forgetting to emboss it. So that's the piece I'm missing, is the embossing on the top. So the fact that I've embossed the bottoms, you can't now see, but it doesn't matter, it's fine, it's all lovely. Then I just did the plain frame, which is a lovely sized frame for a sentiment. Is this frame here? I mean, that's just a useful rectangle frame die. You don't need to have anything fancy sometimes. That would work nice for adding any kind of sentiment or an image panel or something. And then I've just cut and embossed, stamped and cut the floral and the foliage elements, and then I used a little bit of the gold paper in order to do the centres. So I did miss the step out, which is the step where you emboss this final cut piece. that probably would have been sensible. But I was just playing, and it was just a simple card that I was throwing together with some bits of cardstock that I'd got to play with, and just the colours that came to hand, which happens to have been Calypso Coral, Just Jade, and I want to say Bermuda Bay. Could be wrong about what colour that is, but I think it's Bermuda Bay. So it's not the best example, but it's an example of using this set. I think it's really clever. I did do another card, but I've already posted it. It wasn't a card, it was a postcard, and I've already posted it. So and that showed the embossing on these foliage much better. But anyway, so that's what I got as my little haul. However, because I had spent a bit of money, it is currently celebration. That's the wrong celebration. Ignore me. I've lost my celebration leaflet. Where's it gone? Do you know? I go mad. Don't know where it's gone. Okay, well, it's celebration at the moment, and that's definitely the wrong leaflet catalogue for celebration. But I don't know where I've done it, what I've done with it. So anyway, I had spent over £90. Therefore, because I bought 2 bundles and paper, so it wasn't like it was a small haul. It was quite a lot. So I was entitled to get something from celebration, and I chose this delicate dahlias. Dahlias. Let's go with dahlias. Which are 2-step stamps. So when I say 2 steps, that means that you have got the line art, which obviously you can then choose to colour however you wish. So you've got 2 flowers and a leaf, a tiny leaf and a sprig of leaves, and then you have 2 sentiments. Well, you actually have 4 sentiments in total, but then you also have the bit that colours in. So you can choose to colour that however you want, watercolour it, use your Stampin' Blends, use colouring pencils, however you want. This bit you could then just stamp onto it directly, and it will give you your colouring, and it's already got all of the shading and the variation. So that works for all 4 of the images, but also on here you get 2 additional sentiments. So I think it's quite a cute set. I haven't tried to play with it yet. But as I said, 12 stamps, completely free. Bargain. However, I have to say I'm probably most happy out of all of my purchases with my Christmas based ones, because, well, I just love Christmas crafting. Just love it all year round, pretty much. So I'll just share those with you, and I just wanted to just pop on and say hi with my little purchases. So I hope you enjoyed. It wasn't quite an unboxing because clearly I've already used them, but I just wanted to share with you what I'd got as my little haul from Stampin' Up. Please give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Drop me a comment below. Just say hi, whatever. It's up to you. And subscribe if you want to see more. Until next time, bye bye.